From the Houston Public Media Newsroom, I'm Gail DeLauder. Politicians and pundits have been voicing concern about the 17,000 migrant children and teens in overwhelmed federal facilities. Many of those facilities are here in Texas. President Biden has caught some flack, but policies from the previous administration have contributed to the situation. Immigration reporter Elizabeth Trovall talked with 3 lawyers who work directly with these migrant kids to learn about the difficult road ahead.
Democrats and Republicans alike have called conditions at overcrowded Border Patrol facilities holding migrant youth unacceptable. Many are trying to play the blame game.
Many Democrats like to pretend their open border policies are somehow humane. There is nothing humane about what Joe Biden and Kamala Harris are doing at the border.
This is Senator Ted Cruz on Fox News. The network showed footage of kids wrapped in Mylar blankets that look like tinfoil.
They're endangering their lives in a pandemic by keeping them locked up in cages right on top of each other.
And I know it doesn't look good to have them under those, whatever those blankets are called, but to send them back into Mexico is not the answer.
That's attorney Dick Horstman. He says while conditions on the border are bad, the alternative, sending them back into life-threatening circumstances, is worse. That's what former President Donald Trump did. During COVID, he turned away kids and teens at the border, citing health code. He sent them back into Mexico or their home countries, where many were fleeing danger or even death. Horstman says what Biden's doing by letting in minors traveling alone is far from open borders, especially since some families and adults are still being turned away.
He is doing what the law requires. What he has decided is that, at least for the kids, I'm not going to use COVID as an excuse for keeping them out of the United States. I'm not going to send them back to Mexico and let them fend for themselves.
Horstman says not letting kids in before is one reason why so many minors are showing up now. That, plus seasonal increases and limited capacity, have overwhelmed border officials and the Federal Office of Refugee Resettlement, known as ORR. Dalia Castillo Granados runs the Children's Immigration Law Academy.
I wouldn't say that the process is perfect, but the intention behind the ORR process is to release children as quickly as possible.
She says the public doesn't understand there's a long-standing process in place to get migrant children quickly connected to family members. She says concerns about quality of care in shelters are valid, but ultimately, this housing is temporary.
Being detained is not ideal for any child, but it is typically a very short period of their life here in the U.S.
She says the process a child must go through to legally live in the U.S. is complicated. That's why, in her view, what these kids need most is legal support. Even with an attorney, these cases are hard to win. Attorney Brandon Roche says that's in part because Trump-era policies have made it more difficult.
And honestly, the biggest issue is the broken asylum system or broken immigration law system, and how long it's going to take them to go through any process, and the odds being stacked against them because of the bad immigration laws and policies.
The legal journey can take years, and at the end of it, tens of thousands of kids will likely end up either deported or undocumented. I'm Elizabeth Trovall in Houston.